What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Big Money MMA show. Can we just talk about yesterday's card? What a way to start the Paramount era off. What an amazing card. I loved it from beginning to end. Justin Gaethje put on a masterclass. Five round war with Paddy Pimblett. These guys were looking like they were out there for blood, bro. Pure violence. Another amazing Justin Gaethje fight. He is definitely one of the biggest legends of our game. One of the best, most violent fighters on the roster. Paddy Pimblett. I don't know why he didn't go for the wrestling, but it's okay. He has a lot to learn. All we learned was he's so tough, man. He's so tough in there. He was winning. I gave him round three. I want to say, yeah, round three and round four. But oh my God, Justin Gaethje. Sorry, round two or round three. I want to give to Paddy Pimblett. Justin Gaethje. He was losing round one, but then he got the knockdown. That's what gave him round one. I want to say round two. It's close. Maybe that might be the one where Patty got eye poked. So I'm going off. This is right after the event ended. I haven't even rewatched the fight, so I can't give you guys a perfect recap. But what an amazing event, an amazing fight. The whole card was great. Today we're going to talk about initial reactions to the fights, and we're going to give our next matchups, who's going to fight next. And I think this is going to be a really, really fun video. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like and comment what I can do to improve and what you guys thought about the event. And on Wednesday, I'm dropping my UFC 325 video, Volkanovski versus Lopez 2, an amazing card. I can't wait to talk about that on Wednesday. So please subscribe, put the noti on so you get a notification for that. And this time I'm not going to talk about some, prelim fights on this, some fights to make, because some of these guys are having some debuts, so I don't know what the UFC is going to match them up with. So if you're over here looking for who Denzel Freeman is going to fight next, my bad, bro. I don't got it for you. So the first fight that we're going to discuss is the main event, obviously. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Justin Gaethje, I think the only thing that we can do for you is give you your last hurrah at the White House versus Ilya Topuria, who said he's going to come back around April to July. So he's definitely going to fight on the White House card, and I cannot wait for that. What an amazing turn of events this is. Honestly, if I could have chose what outcome I would wanted to see, this is definitely one of them. Getting to see Justin Gaethje at the White House would be insane. Versus Ilya Topuria, I know what's gonna happen. Ilya Topuria is gonna slam him out, but I just can't wait to see this fight. What an amazing, amazing fight to headline that event. I think this will headline it, by the way. So July 13th, 14th. They said 14th, which is a Sunday. So I don't know. Are they gonna do it on a Sunday? Usually they do it on Saturdays. So I'm gonna say July 14th just in this, but if it's 13th, don't get me wrong. Uh, that's what I assumed as well. What an amazing card this could be. I just hope the UFC doesn't fumble this, man. We can have another fight that I'm gonna put on here, which we'll discuss soon. Sean O'Malley. I hope he's on this White House card as well. But if Dana places his chips right, this could be one of the best. This is gonna be the best event of all time. So I can't wait for this fight. I think we all know what's gonna happen. Justin Gaethje is gonna go in there. I know Patty didn't catch him with. He caught him with a couple knees in the clinch, or a couple knees when he went to duck down to throw those overhands. Justin Gaethje's one of his signature moves is going ducking down and throwing an overhand. So Poirier is going to be ready for that. You can't do such a big telegraph move like ducking your head without getting caught with an uppercut. I think this will be another round one KO stoppage. I could also see Ilya Topuria going in with the rustling. He could go for a submission, but I think that if he wants to keep the hype going, he's just going to knock Justin Gaethje out in the White House lawn, bro. It's going to be insane, and I can't wait for that. On to the next fight, Paddy Pimblett. I'm gonna give you a couple choices. I could see a couple things that they do with Patty. I could see them giving him number one, Armin Sarukian. Obviously, we want to see Patty versus Armin. This is gonna be an amazing fight. I could see this. I think Patty, is gonna take a long layoff, while Armin. That's the only reason the timetable doesn't really fit. Armin Sarukian, he's probably going to look to want to get back in pretty quick. While Paddy, not only has he taken a lot of damage, but Paddy's not the most active fighter in the first place. He took a whole year off basically at last year. He fought in April versus Michael Chandler, where he won in round two, and then he didn't fight for the rest of the year. So I don't know how likely it is that we even see Paddy again this year after all the damage he took, but we might see him in late July late July, early August. So maybe they could do an August Chicago or some American state event, Armin Saruki and Paddy Pimblett. Or my second option is we see Paddy Pimblett versus the winner of BSD Dan Hooker next week. Now this is better where the timetable is aligned, where you can do Paddy Pimblett versus the winner of this, because I think that I think it's gonna be BSD. I'm gonna give you a spoiler for Wednesday. I think BSD will knock out Dan Hooker. I could see them doing a Paris or London main event. Obviously, if it's a London main event, we could see that. We could see Paris main event September BSD versus Paddy Pimblett. That could be very tough. We could also see them fight a little bit sooner, maybe in I want to say August as well. They could do a fight night in August. Maybe if they want to go to Manchester again in July, they could do that for a fight night. That would be amazing. And my third option, obviously, the BMF belt, whoever wins that in March. So you can go with Paddy Pimblett versus Charles Oliveira, an amazing stylistic matchup. You can go Max Holloway versus Paddy Pimblett. What an amazing fight that would be. So this lightweight division, it's starting to pull itself together, and it's gonna be a lot of banger fights coming up, and I can't wait to talk about them. On to the co-main event. Sean O'Malley wins a pretty hard fought decision. I think he did win 29, 28, 30, 27. I want to say what an amazing way to get a win again, especially with Umar on the prelims winning a dull decision. I mean, they both had pretty dull fights, but at least Sean O'Malley had the amazing walkouts, the superstar walkout was amazing. Finally, he brought it back. I mean, I'm so happy that Sean's back in the win column. This is so good for the UFC as well. You know, Dana was in the back twirling his thumbs, like, come on, kid. It's your last chance. Come on, kid. You got this. Trying to see if his star boy can shine again. And he did. He did shine. And I think that him versus Corey Sandhagen at the White House could be insane. What an insane fight that would be. I would love to see this. I think this is the only time where you can get Corey Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley to fight each other. Or it's going to be one of those what ifs that we never get to see. Because if you do Umar versus Marab or Yan after they have the trilogy, you can't do O'Malley versus Marab. You can't do O'Malley versus Umar. You can't do O'Malley versus Yan. Well, you can, but if Yan keeps the belt against Marab, and then he has to fight Umar next, right? So this is the only chance you kind of have where you can do Sean O'Malley versus Sandhagen, the Sandman. This will be amazing. If they do it at the White House, that would be pretty cool. But if they do it in a different fight night main event, I would love to see that, or on another pay per view, obviously. I just think that Sean O'Malley is going to take another 6 months or at least 5 month turnaround. He did win, so I want to say 5 months. But I could definitely see these guys fighting soon, and I would love to watch that fight. What an amazing stylistic matchup this week. The striking matchup, amazing. On to the next fight. The loser of the co-main event, Song Yadong. He put up an amazing performance, to be honest, against a former champ like Sean O'Malley. He had the takedowns. He got them pretty. I thought he was gonna win off the takedowns, and he was looking like that round two. He looked like a different beast with those takedowns, man. So a lot of people were giving Song Yadong round one because of the takedown late, but I'm like, come on, man. You can't get outstruck all around and then land a takedown for 30 seconds barely. And Sean O'Malley got up pretty quick. So I'm gonna go Song Yadong. He's gonna be fighting either Davison Figueiredo in a retirement fight in Brazil, or we could be seeing Song Yadong versus someone like Ayman Zahabi. Zahabi's on a 7-fight win streak, so he's kind of deserving of like a top five name. And Song Yadong is someone who's on a loss streak right now, so it'll be a good way to get back in the win column. I think he does win that against Zahabi. Zahabi's very good, but I just think that Song Yadong is just a little bit better. and I think that he'll show him a little bit more levels in the striking and the grappling. Zahabi, I think this they could fight in Toronto. I know the UFC is going to Toronto in the summertime, maybe in May. I want to say because last year they went to Quebec in May. So I'm gonna go Zahabi versus Song Yadong in May. That might be a quick turnaround. Then we could probably see him versus Song Yadong versus Figueiredo in maybe late October, late September. If they do that, if they do another Brazil event in the later part of the year, I could see them fighting on that card as well. On to that, we got Waldo and Derek Lewis. Kind of a lame fight, man. Derek Lewis just went in there. He did. I told you Waldo would embarrass him in there. That was my second. That was my way of covering my bases. I threw out that crazy fluke Derek Lewis pick, but Waldo ended up destroying Lewis. Basically, man, he was just hitting with the jab, and Lewis just kind of fell backwards, buckled his knees, and just lie down, man. What a terrible display of the heavyweight division, man. Like it's so sad to see, especially because Josh Hoka was on the prelims and he had an amazing display for heavyweights, man. A fun fight, funny fighter. My dad even watched that fight and he liked that fighter, so that's how you know he's pretty funny. So I'm gonna go Waldo versus Curtis Blades. I'm gonna honor his call out. I think that right now Waldo, he just needs like he doesn't need any more wins to make a make a play for the title shot, but it's so muddled up top at the heavyweight roster that him versus Blades would be very very fun to see in the meantime, and I think that that could happen pretty quick too. I don't think Waldo took much damage. I mean, he did eat a couple like punches from Lewis, a couple hard shots, but I think he should be fine, especially considering the turnarounds he had before. I could see him coming around pretty quick. On to Derek Lewis. I think we could see Lewis versus someone like Mick Parkin, someone young, someone English, and this could also be at the White House. I think Derek Lewis will fight on the White House card because he's one of Trump's favorites, like I said in my previous video. Um, I could see him fighting Mick Parkin because, English versus American, they're probably going to want to do that a little bit more on the card. That's why I wanted to see maybe if they would do Patty versus any other American fighter, but there is no other American fighter for them to put on this card as well. So they're gonna have to put Mick Parkin, Derek Lewis. I hope it's not on the main card. I hope they put this on the prelims of the card, like maybe like how they did Umar Figi in this last card, right? Opening the main card, maybe opening the main card, but I want to see title fights in the whole main card, man. 5 title fights at least, like John Anik has been saying. So on to the next fight, Valentina. I know they're not going to do Valentina versus Barber or Grosso, the winner of that at all. They're not going to do Firo, who just fought her, and I think that only leaves Silva. And I don't think they're going to do Silva versus Firo because Firo is going to want to fight soon, and Silva just fought. So why not just save her for the Valentina fight? I think Valentina is gonna beat her, bro. She didn't show too much good takedown defense in this last fight, and I think that that's gonna be the reason that Valentina goes in there and just Khabib maxes like she's been doing on the last couple girls, man. It's kind of annoying to see, but Valentina, she's one of the goats of the sport of the women's division at least. So I think Rose can fight Jasmine Jasdavicius, Canada's own, on the same Toronto card. I hope that they're still doing that. I seen a post. They made a post about it like a while ago, like before the November card, MSG card. So I hope they haven't changed that up, and I wasn't like getting baited. I know it was on the UFC account, so I haven't scrolled down on the Instagram, but I know they posted that a little while ago. I hope one of you guys saw it as well, and I'm not bugging, but I think that they'll do Rose Namajunas versus Jasmine Dash Devisis. She did say something on Twitter about it, so I think Rose would win that too. I think Rose would win against Jasmine Jasdavicius just because I think Jasmine has the ceiling while Rose still has a little bit of gas in the tank. She just fights now. I think she's here for checks. I know she says she's fighting for legacy, but you're taking up names like Miranda Maverick and Jasmine now if you take this fight. So you're just fighting top 5 girls, I guess. But in the long run, are you gonna remember Jasmine Jazz Divicious? We don't know yet, right? So Miranda Maverick probably not. So that's why I'm gonna go Rose on this one against Jasmine. We'll see if this gets made, but I hope it does. Next fight, we got Gene Silva. I think they're gonna give him Yusuf Zalal, man. They want to get Yusuf Zalal out the title picture. They don't want this guy in there, so they're gonna slime him out just so they can say, "Oh, you lost your 7 fight win streak, buddy. Get back on the line." So they're not giving Lerone Murphy a title shot, and he was out here getting spinning head kick KO or spinning elbows. So they're not gonna give Yusuf Zalal, the guy that's fluking Emmett with injuries, a title shot. So I think they'll give Gene Silva a nice little lamb to the slaughter right here. And on to the next fight. Arnold Allen versus Yair Rodriguez. I've been wanting this fight since 2023, bro. Like, can we just get this amazing matchup out the way? It's the same way I feel about Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley. Like, can we please just see this fight already? I've been wanting to see this fight for a long time. I think Arnold Allen wins this. I think Yair's kind of washed. He's been wanting a title fight off of Patricio Pitbull win since April of last year, same time as Patty. I hope he fights soon, bro. I thought he was gonna fight on this Mexico card coming up, but he's not. So he better lock in because I think Arnold Allen is gonna want to come back pretty quick because he's been taking such a long time off. But he didn't take too much damage. Like of course his face was red. He was a little bit bloody, but I think he'll be back in maybe August. I want to say May, August. That'd be pretty fun to see. A lot of June, July fights we can't really make right now because we don't know how much of them are going to be on the White House and how much of them are going to be on International Fight Week. Are they going to do International Fight Week this year, or are they just going to mix it with the White House? Right. So we don't know all these questions, and Dana refuses to answer them like a bot that he is. On to the prelims. Just a couple fights on the prelims. We got Umar versus Marab or Yan trilogy winner. So this will be in Abu Dhabi in October. I can confirm this already. This is what they're gonna want to do. Umar, he had a pretty boring fight against Figgy. My friend almost fell asleep during it, but what an amazing way to show that there's levels, man. What an amazing way to show that there's levels to this shit, man. O'Malley is the main like co-main event and Umar's on the prelims, and Umar's gonna get the title shot over O'Malley, bro. That's crazy to me. Like, how could you blunder this opportunity this bad? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like the Dagestani fighting style at all, but you can't deny numbers. You can't deny 19-1. That's an insane record. I think 20-1 round, right? 20-1. And Umar's on a 2 fight win streak. He beat Figgy. He beat Mario Batista. He deserves a shot at the belt after Yan versus Marab trilogy. I think they're doing that because Marab talked about that in an interview recently. So I'm gonna go with Umar on this. I think if it's Marab, Umar wins a rematch. I don't think it's gonna be Marab though. I think Yan is gonna beat Marab in the trilogy. If it's Yan Umar, that's a little bit closer. It just depends. If Umar has the tape, it's a tape study match, right? If Jan has a tape study to see how to beat Umar, if he can collect the data like he does, then he'll beat him. But if Umar goes in there and gets the takedowns like how Marab was getting the takedowns on Jan the first time, we could see another 49-46, 50-45 Umar winning the belt finally, and that would be pretty fun to see. Figgy, we kind of already talked about. I think he'll either fight Song Yadong or another lesser ranked bantamweight just to get a final send off, maybe in Brazil. If they go Brazil later in the year, I think that will be when we see Figgy retire. Good luck, former champ, man. It's sad to see Figgy go out this way, but he had an amazing career overall. The Brandon Moreno quadrilogy was insane, so I'm really happy for him. On to Krylov. Krylov, I'm gonna give him Ming Yang. I think this is another fight where they're just trying to get rid of a guy from the rankings. Krylov, he's kind of messing their plans up in that whole division in the bottom. They wanted Modestas ranked a little bit higher, so now that he's kind of getting fluked in the round 3, what a boring fight before that. Can I talk about that? I thought Modestas would win this. Krylov was showing him levels, man, and then he immediately gets the KO right like the last 10 seconds. That was pretty fun, man. Nice counter, boom, bow, right across the face, slumped him, man. Crazy. Krylov versus Ming Yang. I could see the same thing, right? This is the same archetype as Bukowskis. Either Ming Yang's gonna fluke a KO or Krylov is gonna get a crafty vet decision, right? So, last couple fights I want to talk about. Alex Perez, we give him Steve Erceg, we give him the Office, man. We give him bedtime, obviously. So I think that's just one up on the rankings, and Perez needs a name that's not as high, like Moreno or a Tyra. He needs someone less ranked, kind of in the Urseg group. So And Usyk needs a easier fight like Perez, but also someone that's highly ranked, highly uh, has good wins in the division. Like if you beat Perez, you're no slouch, right? Last fight, Charles Johnson, give him Bruno Silva. Quick little fight. I think Johnson wins this. Bruno, he's on the he's like a Bruno's like a Danny Gate kind of guy with like level like number 15 gatekeeper. So Charles Johnson should win this pretty easily. I hope he does, man. If we see Charles Johnson lose another one, it might be over, bro. Like you're never getting a rematch against Van, that's for sure. So those are my fights that I want to see for UFC 324 fighters. What an amazing event, man. Please let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about the rankings I made in this video, and what you guys think you guys want to see next. Please give me any suggestions of videos you guys want to see me make. I'm gonna make my UFC 325 predictions right after this. I can't wait for that card. They got a couple of crazy fights on there. Volk is in the main event. He's one of my favorite fighters. I can't believe they gave Volk Lopez again. Oh my god. I'll talk about that in that video. I'm heated about that. I hope that's not a whole rant video, but I'll make that pretty short. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much.